All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me make sure that Deandra and Nick are on here. Let's see, we're gonna wait another minute as Megan is continuing to let people on. I'm gonna start tonight. I'm gonna be the opening person that talks. And then we have Deandra and Nick. Megan and Angie are both out of commission right now, so we're rolling with it. We're gonna pivot and we're gonna roll with this. So let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm trying to see if I see the other two. I don't want it to keep recording and it's just me talking for the people who are gonna have to watch the replay, because that's always boring. We have to watch like 5 minutes of someone saying, I'm waiting on everybody to get on. That's boring. So we're not gonna try. All right, Megan, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Megan's on here, but she is not here. She's just doing behind the scenes stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna stop at my time, and then if they're not on here, we're gonna roll with it. Okay. So tonight we're gonna be talking a little bit about recruiting, social selling, and overcoming the objections that you get that come with recruiting. I can talk about recruiting all day, every day, because this is one of my absolute favorite things to talk about. It's something I'm super, super, super passionate about, because what do you do when you recruit? You're blessing someone's life. And that is something that I love doing. I love blessing somebody with this incredible opportunity, right? So I'm going to be talking about how to meet new recruits in person and online and what to look for. So I just celebrated my 11th year with Scentsy, like on the end of like 2 weeks ago. And recruiting was something that I hit the ground running. The moment I started, did I know exactly what I was doing? No. I just knew that if I grew a team, let's be honest, some of us joined because we needed to make an extra income. I knew if I wanted to make an income, I needed to recruit. So my goal starting off was growing wide and growing deep, and that's how I've always been. That's what I still do to this day, 11 years later. Now, recruiting is a mindset. It's a lifestyle. You should always be hiring. Always. Doesn't matter if they're a lawyer, doesn't matter if they make $1 million a month. People love Scentsy. People want to be a part of something. People want the community. People still want the paycheck. People still want the tax write-offs. Millionaires need tax write-offs too, y'all. They need Scentsy too. But you're always hiring. And I know a lot of time people who first join, or even after a couple months, they're like, nobody's joining my team. It always goes down to the relationships that you have with your customers, that you have with people. People are not just going to see that you sell Scentsy and come running up to you and go, hey, let me join your team. Hey, Chelsea, I want to join your team. They're not going to do that because there's no trust built. Now, if they do that, then that's like a very rare occasion, and I want to know what you're doing to get them to do that, because I'm still trying to figure that out. But it's all about trust. They need to know that they can trust you. Are you going to trust them, or are they going to trust you to lead them where they want to go? If they need to make $200 a month, are they going to be able to trust you to show them the way, to see how they can get $200 a month? It boils down to your relationship with them. This is a relationship-based business. It goes with our sales, and it goes hand in hand with recruiting as well. Let me move the chat here so I do not pay attention to that, because I will go squirrel. It's not built overnight. Again, I've been doing this for 11 years, and I'm still recruiting to this day. Still having joint conversations. I have competitions with myself to see how many joint conversations I can have in a week. It's kind of crazy, but I love hearing the word no, because I'm like, you know what? I'll come back to you. you're going to keep watching me. Just because they say no does not mean that they're saying no forever. I had somebody who joined a few months ago who has been watching me for 10 years, and she finally joined. 10 years, you guys. Sometimes it takes people a whole decade to realize what they're missing out on, because they're missing out on a lot, right? So how am I finding these people? In person and online. So in person, it's all about getting involved in your community, your kids' school, church, doing your fundraisers, doing events, hosting parties. Parties are not dead, you guys. You can do them online, you can do bag party, you can do in person, whatever. Those are some ways that you can find people in person. Also, when you're building relationships with people, and I've said this since day one, if you've ever watched any of my recruiting videos, I try to get to know the people. I build relationships with zero expectations of them ever buying or joining, because that is the foundation of everything, is the relationship. You're going to hear me say that probably about 100 more times. But I want them to get to know me, and I want to get to know them. I want to know what they like, what their kids are doing, what sports they're in, what's their favorite Starbucks drink, what's their favorite Dunkin' drink, so I can, give them a gift card, birthday stuff. Like, I want to have that relationship with them. And when they walk in my house, my office is literally right next to my front door. So they see Scentsy, they smell Scentsy. That's the first thing that they see is my office, and they smell Scentsy. And then they're around us and they get to know us, and they see our lifestyle. They see me posting constantly about Scentsy and the joint opportunities, traveling, being able to go on all these great trips, going to Scentsy Family Reunion, hosting retreats, all these great things. They see that and they're intrigued. They're like, well, how do I get to be a part of that? When I first joined, I didn't really know much about direct sales. I blocked all that out of the whole pyramid scheme, all that stuff. But now it's come more to light because of social media, that more people are skeptical. But if you are consistent showing up online, showing how it's changing your life, I share my story so much. I don't care how many times I've shared it in the past. I will always continue to share it, because you never know who's watching. You never know who needs to hear your story. And as people continue to watch, they're more intrigued. What's Chelsea doing next? Where is Scentsy sending Chelsea? That was like a hashtag with my customers for a long time. Where is Chelsea, or where is Scentsy sending Chelsea? Because I was going from trip to trip to trip. And then they're like, well, I'm going to go on free trips. Well, I'm going to earn that. And then you have that conversation. Also online, not just watching you, but using like hashtags and stuff. I said this last time I did a training, hashtags are so awesome for your business if you're doing it right, especially on Instagram, because that is bringing in people who are relatable to you, and then they start watching. Show your customers what you and your teams are doing. Show them how you are recognizing. If you have a team, show them how you're recognizing. People want to be a part of something, right? We all are here. We all love Scentsy, right? But we stay for the community. We stay for the excitement that it brings into our life, the happiness, the joy. So many people still need that in their life. And you have this opportunity to bless them. And you have that opportunity. And just because they say no does not mean that it's forever. It's no for right now. Because you never know what's going on in someone's life. And that's also a huge thing. If you build that relationship, you will be able to fit Scentsy into their life and show them how Scentsy can fit into their life. Especially if they're working out of the house, if they're a new mom, if they're busy with 5 kids, you never know. But you can show them how it fits into their life. Also, what to look for. If you have a Scentsy Club member, they need to be your next consultant, okay? So I have a 3-tier rule that I do. Customer first, clubber, consultant. I want them to become my brand new customer. I want to get them in club so they experience a little bit of the discounts, a little bit of the perks, and then I want to get them to join. That's my 3-tier system. And it's been working. The last few of my new consultants that have joined under me have been from clubbers. Also have been from hashtags as well, from Instagram. But my 3-tier club system is so perfect in my eyes for me, and it could be for you. Customer Clever Consultant. It's great. If they're already a Clever, why are they not getting paid off their own purchases? Show them how much they could be making. If they're ordering $200 from you a month, a year, every 3 months, show them the commission that they could be getting from those orders. Sometimes that's all it takes is, wow, I could be making $50 off of that. I could be making $50 and I'm getting $40 in host credits and a free half off item. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's just the bare minimum. Imagine what you could do if you continue to grow. Let's see here. Oh, it's never about you. When you are having these conversations with people, it's never about you. It should never be about you, because that is a very selfish thing. And when it comes to recruiting, you're trying to bless people's lives. It is not a selfish thing. You want to be a servant leader and not just take. The best leaders are servant leaders. And if you are only recruiting for a trip, for annual mentor, your mindset is not on the new consultant. Your mindset is on yourself. And I guarantee when it's on yourself, you're not able to help them and serve them the best way that you can. Let me see. I saw someone say something about the audio. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me, right? Okay, good. Okay. Let me see, what time is it? Okay, let me pause real quick. I want to make sure that Deandra and Nick is on. Do you guys see them? I see Deandra. Okay, so just to go over everything real quick, your mindset, it's a lifestyle. Do the 3-tier system that I talked about: customer, Clever, and then consultants. If they're already in club, you guys are already halfway there. You might as well get them to join. And don't forget about our $59 kit. If people are talking about money, if they're strapped on money, get that kit for free. Show them that opportunity. You guys have such an amazing opportunity in the palm of your hand to bless someone's life. And it's up to you. They're not going to come running up to you waving. No, it's up to you. And talk to many people as you possibly can. Use those hashtags. Get on social media and talk about how Scentsy is changing your life. You were more relatable when you were vulnerable. I'm going to say that again. You are more relatable when you were vulnerable. These people don't care what you drive. These people don't care, honestly, how much you make. People just want to be relatable to you, not anybody else. These people can buy Scentsy and join Scentsy from anyone and through anyone, okay? But they pick you. There's a reason they pick you. Don't let them down. Don't be that person. Don't be that sponsor who doesn't help them. You are here for a reason. You have a leadership purpose inside of you. You just have to find it. We all do. And we may all not be perfect leaders. There is no perfect leader, but you can be a dang good one. And you can show them the way. You can change someone's life today by simply just offering an opportunity. So go out there, get involved. Like I said, in your kid's school, church, whatever. Get on social media. If you see people, guys, real quick, do not cold message. If you see people struggling for money, don't just go immediately, hey, you should join Scentsy. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is not going to grab their attention. They're going to run away and they're going to be like, oh, well, Scentsy is one of those cold messaging direct sales schemes. No. Say, hey, I know you're struggling. I'd love to open up a party for you and see how much free and half price items you can get, because I know you love Scentsy. Start off with that. Free and half off. That's it. Again, customer, Clever, consultant. Deandra, you are up, girl.
Hey, can you give me like 2 seconds? Is a Nick ready before me?
No, I think you're before her. Yeah, you're before her.
Okay, 2 seconds.
All right, let me look in here in the chat. Thank you guys for your patience for services body. That's okay. Does anyone have any questions while we wait? if you have questions, definitely put them in the chat so we can go back through and look at them and answer them.
Okay. So yes, my service is spotty. When I told Megan I would do this, I did not realize how poopy the service would be. So I actually had to drive to a store and use Wi-Fi. Super ghetto, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my video on. Transparency, and you never know what someone's going through. Well, here you go. So my thing that I was going to talk about was conversation starters and being consistent. And my biggest thing is kind of like what Chelsea was saying, how you need to ask everybody. My biggest thing has always been I use my social media as my platform to be transparent about myself. And so that's what brings people to start a conversation. Another big thing in this season that I'm in is building relationships, and in those relationships, just being super transparent, because people, like Chelsea said, want to connect with you. And people always think that just because, you know, we do Scentsy and we get to go on trips and, you know, we have these nice things or we post these nice things on Facebook, that that's who we are and that everything comes easy for us. But that's not actually the truth. And so just being transparent with people and asking them about themselves. The biggest thing for me in building relationships is getting to know people on a level outside of Scentsy, and really caring about who they are. So when I follow up with people and start conversations, you know, with customers that I want to potentially be a recruit or, you know, even beyond that, I ask how they're doing. I show them that I care, and get to know them on a much deeper level. And then I'm transparent with my business as well, because we're all going through something and we don't know who can benefit from what we have to share. So, I mean, for me, that's been the biggest thing. I wasn't really prepared with anything super extravagant because when she asked me, I'm kind of going through my own stuff. I just moved states, and left my husband, and I haven't cried at all. And so when she asked me, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I love talking to Scentsy people and it means a lot to me to be able to do these things. And I kind of took a break for a while. But then something kept pushing me. And then when my service wouldn't work, I'm like, okay, there was a reason I was supposed to be on here. I don't know why, maybe for my own self, but I think that for me has been huge in building my business, is being transparent like this with my customers and my Facebook friends, and connecting with them. Like some of my downline were people I met, you know, on the most random things, you know, codependency classes that celebrate recovery or whatever, like these things that are completely out of the norm. And so I think that, you know, that's the biggest thing, is we always are afraid to ask somebody about their personal business. A lot of people, not me, a lot of people are introvert and they don't like, you know, asking people because that may start a conversation that they don't want, you know, to really talk about. And so I think just doing that, going outside of your comfort zone and asking someone how they really are, just opens doors that maybe you wouldn't have originally opened before, and start building a relationship even outside of Scentsy, and outside of, you know, asking those questions that are just business related. Megan, what was my second thing? I'm sorry. When the internet wasn't working, then I was real flustered. So
It's I'm Megan. I'm part Chelsea and
Oh.
part Megan tonight.
Okay.
It's just the overcoming the objections.
Oh yeah. So I face a lot of objections because not everyone likes my personality, because I am outgoing and I do, you know, ask people about their business. Or if, you know, people that it's just not for them right then. That doesn't mean it's not for them forever. So overcoming those objections, going in with the expectation, I always go in with the expectation that they're going to say no, or they're going to say, no, I just like the discount. And that's fine, because then, you know, you don't get like booty hurt or something because they said no. But yeah, just setting those expectations up for yourself, like not expecting a yes every time, is huge. So making sure that you're going in it with, you know, those expectations set for yourself, and then knowing that, again, it may not be right this second that they that it's going to be good for them, but it could be good for them down the road. I know that for me, my upline asked me forever. I went 9 months without either my husband or I saying yes. And it wasn't until I needed a refill on sticky cinnamon bun that I was like, okay, why don't I just sell this? And she had asked me numerous times, and I'd always said, nah, not right now, or like procrastinated. And so it may not be somebody's yes right now, but just allowing them the opportunity to say no, and not assuming that they're going to say no, or assuming that it's not the right time for them, is huge. I know that for myself, for so long, I didn't recruit for the first 2 months because I was afraid of that. I had done direct sales before, and people had always told me no, and I didn't build businesses. And so when I went in with Scentsy, I was like, I'm not going to, you know, ask people. And so I had my first recruit that asked me. And so I was like, oh my gosh, okay, sure. Yeah. How can I help you? And so it wasn't until, you know, 2 months into it that then I was like, okay, I can do this. And so then I just started sharing that opportunity, what it was doing for me, what it was doing for my family, and most importantly, the family that I got from Scentsy, sharing that with them. And even if they said no, then they knew that eventually it would still be there for them. Or I gained a really super amazing customer out of it. So it was a win-win either way. So yeah, I don't know how much more time I have.
You're good on time.
Okay. So I just don't want to babble on, and like I said, going through my own thing right now. So but I just appreciate Megan reaching out / Chelsea. And yeah, I think that all of us have obstacles to overcome, and all of us are going through something. Some of us are in really poopy seasons, and some of us are in really super amazing seasons. And so making sure that those people that we're asking, we, you know, don't automatically assume they're going to say no, and don't automatically assume this isn't the business for them, even if they are doing something else. I know that for me, I would always assume that somebody else was doing a different direct sales, or they had dabbled in a different direct sales, that they wouldn't want to be involved in direct sales again. So I just would, you know, kind of put that assumption. And I actually have quite a few people that quit other direct sales that they weren't successful in, and have soared with Scentsy because we didn't give up on them, and we consistently asked them, and, you know, we followed up with them, and, you know, believed in them in this business. And so I know that that's helped immensely as well. So yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. And I know
Yes, and
Megan
I'm
does
sorry
too.
it wasn't a little more. Yeah.
But that's the thing. If that's all that you can give, that is totally cool. That's totally fine. And we appreciate it so much. So I don't see a Nick on.
Hey, Chelsea.
Yes.
We also did not see a Nick on, so I am just gonna fly by the seat of my pants and just gonna cover her topic the best that I can. So y'all get what you get tonight. We're pivoting. So I hope everything's okay with a Nick. And I text her, but I don't know. So that's what we do, right? We fill in. And her topic tonight was social selling, using your brand to gain new followers. And behind the scenes, me, Angie, and Megan were like, okay, well, Nick's not on. Oh, April, you get to do it. And I'm like, social selling? I'm not doing that. Nope, not doing it. I social sell, right? Like I share on Facebook. My customers are on Facebook. My following is on Facebook. I wish I could not be on Facebook sometimes, but it's how I share, it's how I connect with people. You know, in real life, you can only connect with so many people, but if the people that you meet in real life, you connect with them on social media, they get to follow your story and they get to learn about you and be a part of your life. And so you can reach a lot more people. So when you're sharing on social media, be you. Don't just sell Scentsy. Be you. Sell yourself. What sets you apart? And it's not even that you're selling yourself if you just be yourself. So authenticity is one of our core values. Embrace that. And that means being uncomfortable. That means sharing the things that you might not want to share. When you share the hard things that you're going through, like Deandra was just telling us about some of the stuff she's going through in her life. That's not easy and that's vulnerable to share. But when you share something that's hard, that not everybody would be okay sharing, that's when people connect with you. That's when they feel close to you. That's when they feel like they know you, the real you, not just the highlight reel. So first and foremost, always be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. You can get inspiration. You can find examples from other people, but always put your own twist on it and make it you. So personally, if you went to my Facebook page or Instagram or something like that, I try to be authentic. I don't only share things that are, oh, chicken alarm going off. Sorry, guys. I don't only share the happy stuff, but like some of the things, if you're my friend on Facebook, that you would know about me as I live on a farm, I ride horses, I have a lot of animals, I love nature. I don't know what else. I love green. Green's my favorite color. So you're going to build your own brand based on the things that you love. People will connect with you through that, but also just being vulnerable and sharing hard, real life stuff. Some of you may know that for the past couple of years, I've been going through a really horrible divorce. I've connected with a lot of people just sharing about that, and being vulnerable with that and trying to share in a way that's positive and uplifting and showing that you can go through a really hard time. And the people who have been there for me are my Scentsy customers. They've supported me like they never have before. I mean, just really, they understand that I've had to take a step back a little bit and they've supported me. They're still buying, they're sharing, they're referring me, they're cheering me on, they're messaging me, checking in on me, you know. I'm still doing my follow-up, I'm still sharing Scentsy, I'm still working my business, I'm still doing events. But my customers know that I'm going through a hard time. My team members are stepping up, my leaders are stepping up. So it's this community that you build. You know, it's not just your team, not just your customers, not just your peers, but it's this whole circle of support that we are all in it together. So if there's one thing I want you to take away about social selling and using your brand needs to be authentic to you. And it doesn't have to always be sunshine and rainbows. If you just do sunshine and rainbows, it's going to come across as fake and people won't connect to you the same way. The next thing I have written down is, so Angie kind of called me out on this. She was like, you're fine. You make friends everywhere you go. Cause I'm like, social selling. I'm not like, using your brand to gain new followers. What are you talking about? One of my superpowers, I guess you could say, is I meet people in the wild. So at the gas station, in an Uber, at the post office, the grocery store, wherever. Your waitress. I don't know. I have crazy stories. I should have thought about where I have a list I've written down where all my team members have come from. And I'll give you one example that's just totally random. I was at Rural King, which is a farm store. If any of you guys go there, it's kind of like Tractor Supply. Walked in, there was a lady, had her dog. So of course I'm like, oh my gosh, can I pet your dog? And I'm like, he looks a lot like my dog. And so we just kind of started chit chatting. And then she's like, we should get our dogs together sometime and let them play. And I was like, oh, awesome. Well, I pulled out a Scentsy sample that had my phone number on it, and I gave that to her. And I said, here, this has my phone number on it. So you're welcome to text me or call me or whatever. And she was like, oh, well, what is this? So that opened the door for me to share Scentsy with her. And I was just sharing, like I wasn't selling anything with her. Um, and over the time of our friendship, and we did meet up with our dogs. So went from completely random stranger to meeting up to let our dogs play. She already knew I sold Scentsy, and then eventually she ended up joining my team. She's still on my team now. So she's been on my team, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. But before that, she was a random stranger who I just asked if I could pet her dog. So you meet people everywhere you go. You don't have to sell Scentsy. You just have to share it with people. Own that you're a Scentsy consultant. Share that when people ask what you do. Be excited about it. Be confident about it. Think about the positives that it adds, how it adds value to your life. Let's see, Angie, it was also, the Uber drivers. So I took an Uber the other day, well, like a few weeks ago, sitting up front, and it was like the coolest girl I ever met. She was so cool. She was really into nutrition and like natural things. That's part of my brand. It's just part of who I am. I eat really healthy. I work out. I'm into really natural things. So I was totally drawn to her, and I'm like, wow, you are like the coolest person ever. And so I pulled up my phone. I'm like, can we connect on Instagram? And she's like, yeah. So she told me like what her Instagram was, and we followed each other. I still talk to her regularly, and she's not a customer yet, and she's not a team member yet. But when you connect with people in a genuine way, you don't have to sell Scentsy to them. When you share on social media about Scentsy, but you're also sharing about yourself and about your life, and people connect with you and they get to know you, the real you, because you're doing it in an authentic way, they trust you. And people want to buy products and support businesses from people who they know and they trust. And so it's not a sales tactic. It's genuinely how you build a customer base, a loyal customer base, a customer base full of friends, people who you know and who, care about you in some way, or who you've genuinely connected with in some way. I think that's everything I have written down. Sharing versus selling. So I don't sell Scentsy. I just share it. I share myself and my life in an authentic way. And, that can be really vulnerable sometimes because you're putting yourself out there. But I also live my life in a way where I don't care what other people think about me. And it's very freeing. And I love Scentsy, and I share that. I share my love for Scentsy. I share my love for the things in my life. I share hard things that I'm going through because that inspires other people. When you share your vulnerabilities and your weakness, like things that feel like weaknesses, it turns those into your superpowers. So don't be afraid to share the hard stuff too. That's what will really connect people with you, and inspire people. And that's really all I can think of. That was like on the fly, off the cuff in about 3 minutes. So we might get done early tonight, you guys.
I do want to add something really quick. It just popped into my head. So how many of you guys actually feel like you are worthy enough to be a leader? Like raise your hand or go raise your hand like we're in school, or like put in the chat, like, do you feel like you're worthy enough to be a leader? Because how many times have you like wanted to ask somebody and you're like, no, I don't think I'd be a good leader. I don't think I would be. Because sometimes, like Deandra said, we assume it for our customers, but sometimes we hold ourselves back from recruiting because we feel like we're not worthy enough to be a good leader. Because what do? We compare ourselves to social media leaders, and then we automatically go, well, I'm not going to be a good leader like that person. stop standing in the way of you being a fantastic leader. Your authenticity is all you need to be a fantastic leader. It really is. You showing up and showing the way, even if your way is different than how someone may think that it should be. Show the way, grow the way, be the way, and help them. You are all worthy of being a leader. We all suck at being a leader sometimes too. We all have sucky moments. Don't think that we're all perfect and all these wild things. No, we are all worthy of being a leader. So don't stop yourself next time you want to ask someone and you want to offer that opportunity. Don't let fear get in the way of potentially completely changing your life. We say that with sales, same with recruiting. One new team member can completely change your business. Completely change it. That one new team member could become like your ride or die in this business. You just never know. So offer it to every single person. And don't compare your leadership to somebody else. Because everybody is in different seasons, different journeys, different reasons why they're here, different reasons why they keep going. Like you don't know. So stick to your authenticity, like April said. And stick to your, make sure that you don't ever forget about your why you joined, because that'll keep you on the path that you need to stay on. Like they said, you can take nuggets from people and all that great stuff, but make it you. Make it your way and embrace that. But you guys are all worthy of being a leader. So please do not hold yourself back from growing a team. I don't care how long you've been with this business. They used to say, if you don't make 500 PRV or leadership PRV, that you shouldn't be watching trainings. And I used to say that, recruiting trainings. You know what? If you feel like you want to recruit and you want to work on that PRV, do it together. Get your bestie on here and do it together. All of my best friends are now in my leadership. Isn't that wild? That I grew up with. They're all leaders in our organization. It's more fun when you have people beside you doing it with you. It's so much fun. So ask everybody, your family, your cousin, your aunt, everybody. Don't hold yourself back from growing a huge empire, because you guys all deserve it. We all suck sometimes. Yeah, Kelly, we all do. And you're always going to be improving as a leader. Every single day you should be improving as a leader. Do things that get you uncomfortable. I know we've all said it. Because when you get uncomfortable, that's when you learn lessons. That's when you suck. That's when you thrive. All these great things. So if you hear no, that doesn't mean you're a crappy consultant and they don't trust you. They are letting fear stop them. Remember, it's not always about you. Sometimes people have things going on in their life. So take that into consideration every time that you ask somebody, that when they say no, they could have something crazy going on in their life. We all have difficult things. But just keep showing up and being that light that they need. And I guarantee your light is going to attract them. So that is all I have. If anybody has questions, let me see. Can you tell us about your pumpkin? That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. Let's see. I have to work on myself before I can be a good leader. Yeah, but you're always going to be working on yourself as you continue to grow in leadership. You're always going to be evolving and working on yourself. So don't let that be the whole reason that you don't want to grow, because you're going to grow as you become a leader all the time. Let's see here. Great practice on asking the joint questions. Yes. I already read that. All right. No, I don't. I feel like an awful leader. You're not an awful leader. Maybe there's just some things that you need to change or stop doing or needs to do better at. We're all evolving. Doesn't mean that we're awful. Always be evolving. See, everyone, you guys all know that you just have to work on. It's a work in progress. We're all a work in progress as leaders. Just don't hold yourself back from recruiting and growing, because you guys all deserve it. All right. So I hope you guys took some nuggets away. There were a lot of great information. I think the biggest thing is that you need to be authentic in who you are. Share on social media. Recruiting is a mindset. It's a lifestyle. If you want to grow, if you want to make money, that's where it's at. But at the end of the day, you're blessing someone's life. You could possibly be changing someone's life. How powerful does that sound? You have the opportunity to completely change someone's life. It's up to you. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. The recording will be up tomorrow give 48 hours because I know they are out of commission right now. Just give 48 hours at least, maybe a little longer. But thank you guys for coming on here and listening. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Chelsea. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Love you.